Hello Bakugan Brawlers, I have a really exciting episode today. I have here sealed Bakugan Mectanium Surge product. I never thought this would actually happen. It just turned out in some of these cases, it was just cheaper for me to buy the thing sealed than it was to buy it open. So I just ended up in this really funny situation. Here, the most impressive one I think has to be Sealed Flytris. I think he's one of the rarest Mechtogan to find. Here you see I have my Darkus Flytris to go with the Darkus Flytris. I will be opening him up today. The main reason being is that although the seller sold this to me as sealed, it is not. You can see the tape here and the open angles of the box, but I also saw the discount sticker here, so I get the impression that although it was sealed, it probably wasn't store sealed. He probably bought it from the clearance aisle. We're gonna save that for last. I'm probably not gonna be opening these unless I have a reason to. This one here is Aquos Defendtrix. I think this is like the rarest one. I have never seen one of these for sale. I've never seen Aquas, so I just thought that was worth buying. You can see here just how much empty space there are in these boxes. Like, what were they thinking when they packaged these? Oh my gosh. I found that part hilarious. But yep, here's the back with Drago in a Pyrus Blastrate. And something that I thought was really interesting was that this one says load, charge, explode. So this was the English translation, but when we come over here to the Fortatron, this is the Chargement Eclats. So this is the French, which makes sense because a lot of Bakugan was produced in Canada. So it just really surprised me that this one was probably from the States and this one was probably from Canada. And then here we have Subterra Fortatron with the Spyron. Has Spyron even come out in Subterra? I gotta say though, that looks really cool. Fortatrons are not very sought after, but this one is the battle suit for Strong. Lo and behold, if I ever get a Strong, am I right? So that's why I wanted it. But yep, same thing here. That's the reference card in there. It's just a lot of empty space in this box. Here we come back to Flytris. So if you didn't know, all the Mechtogan had a number on them. Flytris is number 15, and I think he was like one of the last ones. You'll see Thorak in the back over here. Flytris plus Thorak equal Duomechtra. So Flytris for me was like one of the rarest ones to find, or at least the rarest one to find complete, I think was the issue. You can find Soul Thorax and Soul Flytrises, but finding them with the cards is just extremely rare, so it just took it upon me to figure out, you know what, it was going to be cheaper to buy him sealed than he was to be finding these cards separate, which I just thought was near impossible. Flytris was Marucho's Mechtogan, so he was the one that was supposed to be Aquos, and then Thorak was Shun's, so that's Jakor's Bakugan, so he was supposed to be Ventus. That's just Spin Master being Spin Master at this point, not creating enough suits and Mechtogan in the correct native colors. But I gotta say, something that's really impressive here is the use of both a Chaos Vex Fist and a Darkus Flytris. So the Darkus Flytris did exist, or at least probably was supposed to exist. We're just never gonna see it if anybody does have one. But at least it's really cool to see that in the promotional. Anyhow, let's open this guy up. Alrighty, here we go. So that's the card, hopefully, assuming it's still there. And here's the Mechtogan. Just leave the plastic in there. So it looks like he's just held together by one rubber band on top, I think. Let's check it out. Wow, this is really difficult. Don't want to break him, of course. Oh my god, he's like the perfect soldier. I know a lot of people don't like Mechtogan, just because, like, why would you have robots in a toy game? But I absolutely love them. I think they're astounding. Their designs are so 2010 classics robots. I don't really know how else to explain it. So he's got one rubber band right on the middle. I assume this is because of his folding mechanism to keep him closed, because he splits apart when forming Duomechtra. So we can just get rid of that. Whoa, okay, yep, that would explain it. Wow. So here you see 190 Gs. Very funny, they usually cover this up. I'm very surprised that this did not have the paper to cover it up. Wow. This is amazing. So many moving parts too. So see, this moves, and this moves. So advanced for its time. And then I think these swivel too. Yeah. So this is like complete like 6-point articulation right here. And then obviously when he forms Duomechtra, his arms spread out. I think his head moves too. Okay. Pretty standard. And then this is where he puts his Bakunano. So he's got the 2 ports there. And then 2 ports in the back. And then look at his hands. So his hands come out. Nope, they don't. Okay, hands do not come out. But he's got 2 little blades that do come out. And then as for the feet, I guess these panels move? No, they don't. So he just got little swivel feet. Wow, I do like how they embedded the nanoports into his feet. I think that's a really nice touch. And then there's the production stamp. June 7, 2011, I believe. Wow, he's such a flimsy Mechtogan though, that he feels like he could really break at any time. And then let's open up the packet. There it is. The Flytris activator card and the Flytris ability card. Oh, he's Pyrus. What is this? So he's Pyrus on the card, he's Darkus on the toy, and he's Aquos in real life. Like, what is this? What is this? Okay. Something else to note is that most Mechtogan tend to hide their attributes, so it's really interesting to see that his is exposed like this. A lot of them do keep it hidden, although it's kind of obvious what attribute most of them are. I think that just really goes to show just how delicate of a Bakugan he is. He's got so many moving parts, but all of the moving parts are just like exposed. So, going back to the card, play during a battle where you have a Flytris with a Zlinger attached. Flip a coin. On heads, all Bakugan on the battle gain 200 Gs. After the battle, remove your Zlinger from the game. So if you didn't know, a lot of the late cards started referencing Bakunanos that weren't even produced yet. So this just happens to be one of these in which they did not get to the point of producing the other Bakunanos, right? The concept was there, but it never came to be. Something to note though is that this is a really risky card, because not only do you need to wait 1 power level, summon Flytris, have Zlinger attached on the correct gate card color, you also have to flip a coin, and then all Baku snaps gain 200 Gs. So this is really interesting because this can also help your opponent too. Maybe you pair this with combo battle and maybe you have 2 Baku snaps, so then you get plus 400 Gs off this card. I think that would be pretty amazing. I am otherwise shocked that you would need to have a Baku snap and then support all Baku snaps. It just seems like a lot of work considering that his native Bakugan is, you know, Radizen, a core Bakugan. He has no special powers in game. So there they are, Radizen and Flytris. I'm absolutely positive I'll be sending you guys a video of him rotating in 360 like right about now. Anyhow, let's read the instructions, and this is the part that truly makes it worth it. How do you build Duomechtra? Because I don't even know how to do that. Okay, thorax tail goes up and then down. You need to open him up. So this will open up the dragon. And then you fold up his wings. Flytris, you need to open up everything. Okay, so Flytris, you open him up, put everything out, pull up the head, close his feet, and then combine his back foot to Thorax's front knee, and then connect his back to the pegs on Thorax. So these two nanoports also connect to Thorax. Wow, that's so cool. Can I just say that design is really cool? How they folded the knee into the knee. That's such an interesting design. Sadly, I do not have a Thorax. I think Jordy does. So I won't be able to show you guys. Okay, very, very straightforward. And then open him up. And then you have to fold the knee into itself. Okay, so that's it. Yeah, this knee really scares me for how flimsy this is. I'm impressed. Oh my god, that was so much effort. Okay, and then his head comes up. Okay, ta-da. It's not very pretty, but what else would you expect? This is exactly what it is in the show. Oh my gosh. Gonna be honest, there's not much I can do since I don't have Thorax, obviously. But that's really cool. All right, let me just get some shots in. Well, in the end, I didn't know which Bakunano to give him, but I figured why not give him Cross Striker. Firstly, just the fact that I had a silver Cross Striker, which looked great with these silver accents, but also just because it's Tri-Stars, so why not give it to Flytris? I personally don't have like the biggest interest in Gundams. I've barely watched a couple episodes, if any. I gotta say, his resemblance is really uncanny, and it just looks amazing. The use of the side panels, I don't know the terminology, the clean shape of the helmets, and the interesting use of the pull out arms, along with like a 20-something articulation in this body, is just absolutely amazing for me that this was just released as a regular Mechtogan, because this is quite literally more on par with some of the Titans that I've seen. This guy is like as complicated as like Slynix, but like on another level. So I was really excited to obtain him, and of course to share the unboxing with you guys. And I hope to see you guys here when Thorax arrives. Thanks.